Goody.
This is Nicole. Welcome to Beyond the Grind.
Let's talk about it.
I was talking to some people and we were listening, it was to my cousins, and we were listening to songs. And we were listening to this Music Soul Child song. And they were like, oh my God, like that is such a deep song. And I'm like, but is it really? Because have you listened to the lyrics? It's actually toxic. The song I'm talking about is Teach Me. And he says that he was told the true definition of a man was to never cry and work till he dies, and he has to survive and, protect his family by all means and all of that jazz, right? He was telling about his struggles and the way that he was raised to perceive a man. So then there's a part in the song where he segues and says his relationship is suffering because he's trying to give her what he's never had. She said he doesn't know how to teach her and treat her. So he says, show me the way. So he said he's trying desperately, but he asked her now, the one that he was hurting because the relationship is suffering. So the one that he's hurt, he now goes to the song and says, teach me how to love. And I wanted to bring to you,
come on now,
great
sing
men
the song,
of Barstow. He said, teach me how to love. Show me the way to surrender my all. Girl, I'm so lost. Teach me how to love. How to get my emotions involved.
She getting the award.
Teach me how to love. Not in that key. But my question I'm bringing to you is, as men, do you feel it's the woman's responsibility to teach y'all how to love? And if not, whose responsibility is that? And do you deem that to be toxic, that you even requested the person that you hurt to teach you?
I mean, I don't think, because you said requested, and there's a lot of different things to unpack.
Okay.
Because Nicole threw the towels in the hallway. She threw the laundry in the hallway and all that. And she called it toxic, which I don't agree that it's toxic.
Oh.
I agree what would be toxic is if the man isolated and identified that it was an area of opportunity that he needed to improve in and didn't make any effort to improve in that area. So he's saying, help me, whereas though some people wouldn't even ask for help, if they were struggling in a particular area. So I don't necessarily think it's his mom and his dad's fault. But at the same token, he said their relationship is struggling. I don't know if he's necessarily saying it's struggling just because of him either. He never said who is making it struggle. But he did say he was trying to give her things that he never had. I think that from hearing the song, it sounds like he's putting out everything he can. And like my grandma used to say, he's doing the best he can with what he got. And he's giving her all that he can give. But it doesn't seem like, no matter what he's doing, that she is, I don't want to use the word appreciative of it. But she thinks that he can do more. So instead of him just walking out and saying, F this relationship and a whole bunch of other stuff, throwing his shoes across the room.
Ooh.
And,
that's toxic.
He basically saying, okay, well, help me. On the other side of that, I think that a lot of times men don't know how to express their true feelings because he ultimately might feel like it's ways for the woman to improve, but he just doesn't know how to articulate it to her as well.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts.
All right. What you think, Trevor?
So whose responsibility is it to teach the man how to love?
Show him the way to surrender his all.
I mean, I ultimately think it's like the man's job to figure out, how to love and which ways to go about it. However, I think as men, sometimes we show our appreciation in other ways than, maybe like getting our woman flowers like we should more often. But I kind of think it comes from experience, like, you know, growing up and watching your father figure how, you know, he loves your mother and how they go about and kind of handle their differences.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably just say like the environment that they grow up in kind of defines how they show their love. Um, like I have friends and family who, you know, they greet their loved ones as soon as they see them, and then
Yeah.
they they also, like, when they exit, you know, they tell
Mm-hmm.
their family members goodbye and I love you, and then, you know, you have other friends and family that don't even acknowledge their other family members,
Yeah.
and so then that's kind of what skews my perception of like, well, how do they display love comparative to
Mm.
like how my family displays love. Um, so I think it really just varies. I mean, some people display their love like certain holidays, like they tend to show more love toward their family members then, and other people tend to show their love on a daily basis and
Yeah.
don't need to, you know, reciprocate their loved ones with gifts every so often.
Yeah, I think you're speaking of like different love languages, and I think that everybody's language of how they express their love is
Mhm.
different. Some could be like the physical touch and acts of service and all those, you know, things. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love the different languages, and
Mm.
that's I do believe there's different ways of displaying love. The issue that I'm gonna say the issue, but it is what I'm hearing a lot of is when you have people in, whether it be friendships, whether it be relationships, and you oftentimes find these people know how to receive love. Like if you know how to receive it and you know what you want, what you don't want to tolerate, but it's
Right.
oftentimes those people who know how to receive it, they're
Mhm.
always struggling with how to give it. And it's like, why is it the mindset that the person that I'm hurting, that it's their job to teach me now on how to love? Now, this is my whole thing. If you listen to the album, it's such a beautiful album, and I have
Mm-hmm.
some songs that I really love because the song that comes right after that is Better Man. And he was explaining how now he's a better man because of whoever he met. My whole thing is you have to be very careful because the reason why I said it's toxic is that same person you have hurt. I don't even know if they're completely healed. So in the midst of them trying to heal, now you're putting down a responsibility on them. In order for you to get better in this relationship with me, I now have to teach you in addition to healing, because if I don't teach you, you're still not going to love me correctly. That's a lot of pressure to put on from this song, the woman. I don't know. Like that's, well, I do know. I just think that that's just a setup for toxicity and making you very selfish because it's all about you. And if you don't know how to love, then exit the relationship and learn. And then if that person's still around, then maybe love her or love the next one.
Mhm.
But isn't part of being in the relationship you supposed to make the other person better?
Yeah.
So like for example, I see a book right here saying home therapy,
Yeah.
right? So I'm thinking about like therapy, like essentially what if those couples in this kind of situation went to therapy together,
Mm-hmm.
and all the therapist is going to be doing is opening the questions and pulling things out of them and ultimately helping them create better bonds and things of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, all it's doing essentially is just trying to help both of those individuals become better
Yeah.
together.
Correct.
So like, would it not be worse for the man to then say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to stay in this, I'm not going to articulate none of my feelings, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll let things go on forever? But he didn't do that.
Correct.
He basically is saying like, okay, I need help.
Mm-hmm.
Teach me how to love.
Mm-hmm.
Show me the way to surrender my heart.
Mm.
Because however I've been doing it, what did he say after that? He said, girl, I'm so lost.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like he's lost because it could be twofold. He could be lost because he's saying, I'm lost because I'm giving you everything that I have in all the ways I've been taught to be able to give it to you.
Yeah.
And you don't appreciate it.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so here's a question here, right? So let's say, Trevor, you go to the store and you have $5, right?
I can't buy anything.
Yeah. you're seeing where I'm going here.
You can buy the receipt.
Yeah.
But when you walked up to a store, you realize, oh, let's do cars. What's a Maserati, right? You go inside of there and you see like, oh my God, look at that car, beautiful. Ooh, amazing. But you know your budget is for a Honda.
Okay.
Are you going to still push to get that Maserati, or are you going to go to where you can afford it? Or do you think the car companies would say, oh, you can't afford it, so I'm going to take what you have, but you can still have this?
I mean, they might finance me through the gills.
Yeah. Listen, that's a pipe dream. That is a pipe dream. But they're going to look
a
at
lot
you.
of money on me if I finance that.
But let's say your credit is not even in a place that you don't have the capacity to get that car. You can lust for it and you can say one day, like, I want to get myself, you can do two things. I'm going to get myself together for that. But what I'm saying is they're not going to devalue that car because of what you can afford.
Right.
That's how I look at it, as that's fine if you're giving it your all.
Right.
If that's your capacity and that's all you can hold and you're giving it your all, it still may not be enough for what that person deserves based on their value. So once again, what you're asking her to do is heal.
That person being the woman.
The woman. Heal from what you couldn't give her because you were giving her all, even if your all is just a little. And in addition to healing, because the relationship is suffering, and when you think of suffering, there's no happiness in suffering. There's pain. There's agony in suffering. Matter of fact, it's even worse than just regular pain, because suffering is a continual, constant pain. So you're saying this relationship is causing pain, whether that be emotional, mental, physical, financial, whatever that is. So in addition to all that pain, put on your belt of responsibilities. Help me. Teach me.
Because he's suffering pain too.
And yes.
So he might be suffering pain because he's giving his all and she's not receptive to his all, and he's basically
because his all may not be
saying,
good
like,
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how is my all not? But like you said at the very beginning, like, okay, if your all is not good enough for me, then let's go our separate ways, and then you go out and find you, and then maybe after you figure it all out, then we can come back.
Yeah.
But what I find like ironic about like that scenario is like the same love that he was given to her, which was his all. Say he goes out, there's some other woman that would be super grateful for that because she might have came from a relationship where the guy never even cared to try to improve or get better.
So I have a question. Is that true? So when you think of that, like, if you know that what you're given is still not top tier, right? And even if someone else is appreciative of that, it doesn't make the value of what you're doing better. It just makes maybe what they can also afford, and based off of what they came with, is just better than what they had. And I do feel so oftentimes as humans, we settle for just good enough. And I don't think that we should be settling for good enough. It should be all or nothing. Like, every human should know their value. And even if you realize, like, I'm not where I need to be, then get yourself together, right? But to feel as though, like, I shouldn't be accepting something just because it was better than what I had. If it's not good, then I'm okay with nothing at all.
Yeah, but he's seeking growth too.
Yeah.
Because it's the scenario we talked about with the pan, like the dented pan, where you know, you buy the pan, Trevor puts a dent in the pan. Every cake that we bake in that pan for the rest of our life is going to have a dent on the side of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if your parents taught you things, just like Trevor said at the very beginning, and you know, this is the way you saw love, it's, you know, and then you get with somebody and then, you know, they don't see love that same way. They're saying, oh, you can do more, you can do more, you can do more. And it's like, this is the way I seen love being given. This is what I know.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no class that's teaching me the difference can you help me? And if that other person wants to grow with you, it shouldn't be a problem. It's kind of like seeing your kid
I get that.
coloring outside the lines, and you just keep letting them color outside the lines. But then your kid brings the page to you and says, Mom, Dad, can you help me? I want to get better at this. And you say, oh, no, you should have had that figured out before you came to me. Well, how? This is the only way I've ever known to do it.
No, I get offering guidance.
Let's talk about it.
So, like, okay, so...
Because it's a whole lot of mics being dropped here. A whole lot of rocks being thrown in the bush, but I need somebody to jump out and help me.
So, okay, so I do feel as though there is some type of reward with staying in there. There's reward because there's lessons and not just something gets hard and jumping. I think that's crazy to just your first, it's, you know, you'll run at the sign of confusion. That's crazy to do that to me when you're talking about the lives of others. But what I am saying is from that song, right? It's obviously he's not emotionally, he's emotionally aware because he is acknowledging that he realized there's suffrage and there's work to be done. But
I got to pull the lyrics up.
Yeah. Go ahead. But in addition to that, he's also saying, like, I want you to teach me. And I don't think there's a problem if I'm guiding you, like, hey, your love language, that's really not the way that I receive your love language, and let me help guide you, because the way that your interpretation of how to display love is actually coming from a toxic place. I feel like that's different if I'm guiding you. But this is not a full guidance. To me, I guess in the song, I'm not hearing the effort outside of the acknowledgement. That's just me.
What do you think, Trevor?
Agree with me, because last time you didn't. I'm kidding.
I mean, I just think, like, people come from, like, completely different love languages.
Yeah.
I mean, just from looking at some of my siblings, I mean, my siblings' love languages are arguing, joking, but, like, I know they mean it out of love.
Okay.
Like, my younger brother won't come up and tell me, like, I love you, but...
It's the banter.
It's the banter. It's the, you know, making fun of me. It's the, like, I know he loves me deep down, but, like, I'll probably never get it out of him.
Oh.
Well, see how she said all?
Yeah.
Because, again, it goes to the way, like, men articulate their thoughts. Because kind of like what he said is, like, how I am with my dad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, he's, like, my best friend, like, my superhero, my role model, the person that molded me into who I am.
Yeah.
But every day when I talk to him, it's never him saying I love you, or I say I love you. We show it through the actions and everything. And it's like, yeah, I know he loved me to death, and I don't need you to tell me you love me. I can see it by what you do.
Absolutely.
So here we go.
The lyrics.
I was always taught to be strong and never let them think you care at all. So he's telling you what he was taught, but he's also doing the opposition. But yet and still, it's not enough for her.
Okay, can we take out the not enough? Because maybe...
But then
he knew all this time, right? He said he was taught that. So that means all this time he was displaying emotional unavailability. So now it has come to the fact where crap hit the fan, and she's saying she probably gave him a thing of like, I can't do this anymore. And he's saying like, well, hold on, let me explain it. I was told the true definition of a man was never to cry, work till you die. So it's a thing of he's now expressing all this stuff because obviously there was an emotional unavailability he had. But proceed.
Okay. No, Trevor had a thought, but I wanted to piggyback off of what you just said.
I guess what I was trying to say is that, like, you know, some women need more affection than others.
Yeah, that is true.
Some of them want affection, like, they like PDA, you know, and some women don't like PDA. And other men, they don't feel comfortable with PDA. I mean, if you're out with a crowd of people and she's like, oh, you never show me love out when we're, you know, in the middle of the Applebee's, you're like, well, I don't think that's the right time. Like,
No, I get that. I mean? And I feel like that comes from, like we said, the languages. Because I think I'm, like, I have a mindset that the way I love, you don't have to love me in that same way, but you have to love me with the same value. So the way that I'm a nurturer, like I naturally nurture. I am a doter. Like I will dote over you. Affirmations. That's how I show my love and acts of
Mm-hmm.
kindness. That's how I do it. I don't need the person to do it in the same way, but I need to feel the same effort. So that's that. I'm not talking about we have to have the same language. I'm
Right.
talking about the value of what each person is given. Is it your all? Like you want to know that the person is giving the same value, and that's what I'm talking about. But go ahead with your.
No, it's not mine. It's his
I'm sorry.
word.
Go ahead with his song.
I think he is given the same value and effort
Oh,
because he said, now we're just going to repeat the verse before we go to the next verse.
go ahead.
He said, I was always taught to be strong and never let them think you care at all. Let no one get close to me before you and me. So that's what he was taught. He said that verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody else was getting close to him. And then it only changed when it was
Mm-hmm.
him and her.
Yeah.
I done shared things with you, girl, about my past that I would never tell. He's giving himself to her.
Okay.
He's giving his complete self to her.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. Now,
So she's high maintenance.
now let's talk about it. Because I heard on Instagram there was an old guy talking to a young guy,
Mm-hmm.
and the young guy was asking the old guy questions about it, the older gentleman questions about it, like relationships and women, and the younger guy was basically saying like, I want a top tier woman.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, you're gonna have to pay for that. And the younger guy was laughing. He was like, no, I'm serious. He said,
Mm-hmm.
in life, depending on the type of woman you want, you got to pay for tears.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because each woman has a different level of tears.
Yeah.
Like, some women might not care about Gucci pocketbooks and shoes. They might just want love and time and care.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got some that want Maseratis and pocketbooks and all that. He said, so you just got to pick which type of woman you want to pay for, because one way or the other, you're going to pay.
Exactly.
That
So
was
shop with what your budget can afford you.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. Just
it.
stay within your budget, because you're right. Some
So how
women.
do they identify that up front for the single men? How can a single man know how to shop within their budget up front?
That's why dating is important. I think we rush to the relationship part versus the vetting part of getting to actually know you.
Mm-hmm.
We get so caught up in the romance and the idea of a relationship before we actually nurture the foundation of it to even just getting to know each other. I feel like sometimes that's why you should be careful of clouding the physical and all those things, because once you add those components, and even like hold off on all the gifts, hold off on all of those things, and really mentally lock in with the person and even see like, are we equally yoked, like on a mental, physical, and spiritual thing. Like you might be a person where you say like, okay, I don't like PDA,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a person that you're infatuated with or you like that needs PDA.
Mm-hmm.
You might be a
Right.
person where it's like, I don't need the dates, but I don't need the dates. But then you have a person who's like, I need dates. I need to go out. I need to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make sure you're equally yoked, but you won't do that if all you are doing is having sex, or you are so distracted by everything. So I think you should get to know the person more intimately to even see, does this person work for a
Yeah.
relationship?
I agree. I think it's a whole different topic though, because there's certain religions where the mother and father or the father pick the wife.
Those
Or the
relationships actually, surprisingly, they say last longer.
Right, I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was thinking about that when you said that. The other thing I was thinking about as I start thinking more deeply into this conversation and his lyrics is that it takes two people.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, from what he just said, I shared things with you about my past that I would never tell. He was always taught not to open up to anybody until you and me. So she knew these things up front. She knew them. He told her, I'm sharing things with you from my past that nobody else knows. And she's like, okay, baby. Then he's also saying, I never open up to nobody else. So he's completely opened the slate up to tell her that from the very beginning. So it is also her fault that the relationship is struggling, because if she knew those things at that point, she could have essentially been like, okay, look, well, this is what I'm going to need from you in order for this thing to proceed forward.
I agree. Sometimes we force the struggle and we force the pain by not letting go. Because holding on to me can sometimes be more damaging than letting go. But the one thing I would love to know, and mind you, we won't know all these answers, right? It's just the song, we're generalizing it. But you made a valid point when you said that he's saying, I've never done this with anybody. Like, I told you stuff that I never did with anyone
Right.
else, and I told you this stuff about me. Sometimes, right, I feel as though I'm not going to say men, but I feel like sometimes people feel as though like there should be a whole parade given because they're doing something new. Even though you've never done this before,
Right.
like whoop-de-doo, maybe still what you're doing is still not a lot, but for you it feels like a lot because I never did it.
Right.
So let's say even what you're telling is still not, like, you're not giving me much, but it's just more than what you did before. So I'm excited because it's more than what you did before. It's still not much.
Right, for the standards of that person.
There you go. Yes.
Because we have to complete the sentence.
Yes.
But that not much for somebody else, like the standard could be complete different. 'Cause
Exactly.
like we had situations where we talked about like people that I knew and know that their father walked out on them when they were young.
Yeah.
You know, so when they had kids, one day they just walked out on their kids and left and never came back. So to them, that was the norm.
Yeah.
That's what they taught. That's what they were taught. That's what they seen. So they felt like this is life. Like for somebody like me, I've always had my mom and dad there.
Exactly.
Trevor always had his mom and dad there. No matter what he goes through, and I can speak for him because I know. No matter what he goes through with somebody that he deeply cares about.
His mom and dad.
Yeah, and a relationship too. If it's a relationship that he's in that he deeply cares about, no matter what goes on, he's going to try to make it work.
Oh, Trevor, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what it feels like not to have both people there, especially when he has kids. Now, the other part of his lyrics is this. Ain't nobody ever took the time to teach me what love was, but you. So she did try to teach him.
I know, that's the problem.
And I ain't never trust nobody enough to let them tell me what to do. Teach me how to really show it and show me how to really love you. So he wants to learn how to love her the way she wants to be loved. That's commendable. Because he could just be like, all right, forget all this. I'm just going to keep doing what I want to do, or keep doing what I've always learned and not even try to grow. But you know what? There's nobody more important than you. I want to make it work with you. So teach me how you want me to operate in the form that you want. And I remember when I was younger, I remember like my brothers and like different people that were in a relationship. They would always be like, especially girls that I knew, they would always be like, I want to train this guy so that he can do things the way I want him to go. And I do know that sometimes the best women get with the worst men with the hope that they can change them.
Yes, women do that. And I think that is...
So let's talk about it.
You have to be very careful of that. I think women,
It's a real
like,
thing.
because, you know, men may come in and be like, I'm just letting you know, like, I'm not looking for no commitment. And they'll be like, okay, I'm going to be the one that changes his mind.
Right. And then next thing you know...
Well, don't laugh too hard, guys. What was that? But it's like, but why do we do that? Like, we have to stop thinking that our love is going... Like, I feel as though... this is what I do feel as though. Okay, two things. Let me first acknowledge the fact of I do think there's beauty in the vulnerability of any human who's willing to admit the things that they feel as though are wrong and that they need to change. I think that's beautiful. And I think that there's nothing wrong because I'm not thinking that a woman is perfect in every relationship. And I think there's room for growth for both parties. I just feel as though, I guess I'm talking more so like from a pattern of hurting someone and then expecting them to, because now you got your epiphany, then expecting them to help heal you, when that's a lot of pressure. But I do think that women have to stop thinking that I can, like, I'm gonna be the one to change his mind.
Right.
No, believe him for what he says. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Grind.
Let's talk about it.